Imagine your life 1 year from now. Will it look like the life you dream of? Or the life you've settled for? Most people try to change overnight, relying on motivation and willpower, but it never lasts. What if I told you that the real power lies in tiny habits? Small actions, repeated consistently, that quietly compound into life-changing results. This is your journey, and it starts with one simple truth: big transformations begin small. Chapter 1: The Power of Tiny Changes. Tiny actions may feel insignificant. One push-up, one page of reading, taking the stairs just once. But over time, these small habits compound, like snow rolling down a hill, growing bigger, unstoppable. This is the first secret: small improvements, repeated daily, create extraordinary results. But notice something: starting small isn't enough. You might act today, but will it stick tomorrow? That's where the next step comes in. The habits you perform are shaped by who you are, by your identity. Because it's not just what you do, it's who you become. An understanding that leads us to the next truth. Chapter 2: Habits Shape Identity. Clear explains that lasting change doesn't come from setting goals. It comes from becoming the type of person who naturally performs the actions you desire. Every action you take is a vote for the person you wish to be. If you want to run, start by putting on your shoes. Want to write? Start with a single paragraph. The habit reinforces the identity, and the identity reinforces the habit. But even when your identity and actions align, habits don't just happen automatically. There's a hidden structure behind them, a loop that drives every behavior. Understanding this loop is the key to taking control of your habits. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. Chapter 3: The Habit Loop. Every habit follows a simple pattern: cue, craving, response, reward. The cue triggers your brain. You experience a craving. You act, you get a reward. That reward reinforces the behavior, making it more likely to happen again. Leave a glass of water on your desk, and your brain nudges you to drink. That's the loop at work. But even knowing this loop isn't enough. To truly make habits stick, you need to manipulate your environment, make the cues impossible to miss. Because if the cues are hidden, even the strongest habit will fail. Let's see how to make them impossible to ignore. And that brings us to the next step: making habits obvious.
If you have watched till now, go ahead, hit the like button and subscribe.
Chapter 4: Make Habits Obvious. Your environment shapes your behavior more than willpower ever will. Want to floss? Leave the floss on your pillow. Want to read more? Place the book where your eyes naturally fall. Make the habit obvious. Visibility triggers action. But even an obvious habit won't last if it feels like a chore. That's why the next step is crucial: making habits attractive. Because attraction drives desire, and desire drives repetition. Let's see how to make habits irresistible. Chapter 5: Make Habits Attractive. Humans are wired to pursue pleasure and avoid pain. Clear calls this temptation bundling. Pairing something you need to do with something you enjoy. Listen to your favorite podcast while running. Watch a show while cleaning. Suddenly, what once felt like work becomes something you look forward to. But even the most attractive habit can fail if it's too difficult. That's why the next step matters: make habits easy. Because simplicity beats struggle every time. Here's how to make your habits effortless. Chapter 6: Make Habits Easy. Reduce friction for good habits. Start tiny. Meditate for 2 minutes. Read 1 page. The smaller the step, the easier it is to succeed. Massive goals overwhelm, but tiny habits are almost effortless. And once habits are easy, there's one final ingredient that ensures they stick: satisfaction. Because our brains repeat what feels rewarding. And when you know how to make habits satisfying, consistency becomes almost automatic. Chapter 7: Make Habits Satisfying. Immediate satisfaction reinforces behavior. Track progress. Celebrate small wins. Every streak, every checkmark reinforces the habit. Motivation fades, but satisfaction lasts. And when habits are satisfying, you can start to push them further into the perfect zone of challenge, where growth happens naturally. That's called the Goldilocks rule, because change requires challenge, but not too much, not too little. Let's explore this next. Chapter 8: The Goldilocks Rule. Habits stick best when they're just right, not too easy, not too hard. Too easy, and you're bored. Too hard, and you quit. Right in the middle, progress feels natural. This is the zone where growth accelerates. But even the best habits will eventually plateau, and that leads us to our final step. Because plateaus aren't failure, they're a signal to refine, adjust, and push forward. Chapter 9: Plateaus are normal. Even the most consistent habits can feel stagnant. Progress slows, improvement seems invisible. Clear teaches that persistence and refinement are the keys. Adjust, iterate, continue showing up. Over time, momentum compounds, and tiny habits produce massive results. Combine all the steps: tiny actions, identity, the habit loop, visibility, attraction, ease, satisfaction, balance, challenge, persistence, and you unlock transformation. And that is the power of Atomic Habits, the secret to turning small daily actions into unstoppable momentum.
What are you waiting for? Subscribe to Tell Impact now so you don't miss any update.